A couple of days ago, I rewatched M Night Shyamalan's movie, The Visit. This was the movie that, according to critics, where he got his groove back. It was the first movie in a while that received mostly positive critical reaction, and also did well at the box office, and sort of signified M. Night coming back after what was perceived to be a long slump. Now, I was always a fan of Shyamalan's work, and the time when the critics were so against him, it seemed to me there was some agenda going on there. There was some reasoning. I mean, not for everybody. For some people, just jumped on the bandwagon, and hated on him because it was cool to hate on him. But anyway, I always defended Shyamalan through the years, and now it seems we're entering sort of stranger territory. His latest movie, I can't remember the name of it, but it featured a gay couple with an adopted daughter, and it was sort of I was sort of like, what are you doing, Knight? What's going on here? I mean, before that movie, which again I can't remember the name of, and to be fair, is not a bad movie. In fact, I actually saw the movie and kind of liked it, but it just seemed like an instance of M. Night, I don't know, wanting to ingratiate himself, wanting to be woke in a way that would ingratiate himself, even though I don't think he's somebody whose interest is in woke stuff. I think he's maybe not. He's shown himself to be not above, at times, I would say capitulating to, or in some way, doffing his cap towards the woke crowd, more to get them off his case, I guess. I think, so that he can just make the kind of movies that he likes to make. And the themes of the movies that he makes are, I think, tend to be radically opposed to the zeitgeist, to the harmful zeitgeist, to the spirit of the age. His movies are just like over and over and over again. He returns to the same kind of themes, and those themes are that about materialism not having all of the answers, and believing in supernatural, believing in magic, believing in the I guess what I've often heard call re-enchantment. There's some thinkers on the dissident right who have talked about the disenchantment of the modern world, and how everything has been drained, the mystical side of things has been drained from the modern world, and we're left with just these uninspiring, just plainly materialistic notions and concepts. And Shyamalan's the big through line throughout almost all of his movies is to say there's more going on than what the materialists would tell you. And that we shouldn't just dismiss people out of hand if they claim to have some special ability, like, for example, the kid who sees dead people. in The Sixth Sense, or Unbreakable, the notion of the superhero motif coming out of this, like there being some realistic, some grounded notion of that superheroes as such, or in some manner, actually do exist. People with particular powers that seem to transcend what we are told we can believe about what people are capable of. And so it seems like a big theme in Shyamalan's work is the re-enchantment, is this effort to re-enchant the world. And that's why I think I've always sensed that about him, and that's why I've always defended him, or during the years when everybody was piling on and attacking him. I always defended him through those years, and liked most of his movies. The Village, which I think was maybe the beginning of the end, or the beginning of what they called his slump. I thought and still think that The Village is an extraordinary movie, great movie, one that I absolutely recommend. So anyhow, all that sort of put aside, there is something about when I rewatched The Visit that there's something that sort of gnawed at me, and I thought to myself, what's going on here? This is weird. This is different. It took me a few days actually to think about it, because to be honest, when I was watching it, this didn't occur to me. But later, I started to think to myself, hold on a second. And here's what troubles me. When I saw the movie in 2015, the movie's about two two siblings, a brother and a sister, who go to visit the grandparents that they've never met before, because their mother has been estranged from them. And the grandparents seem nice at first, and then they start to act a little weird, and then it becomes clear that there's some sinister secret going on with these people. I'm not going to give anything away because I think it's worth seeing. But here's what I remember. So the brother, it's a sister and brother duo. They're the main characters, and they're like the film is like a what's it called? It's done in the style of the found footage, right? The sister, who's this precocious 15-year-old girl, is an aspiring filmmaker, and her brother, who's significantly less precocious, but is funny and charming in his own sort of way, is an aspiring rapper. And here's what I remember from the original The Visit. What I remember is that there being a scene or two where the boy mentions Kanye, where the boy mentions Kanye West, and talks about how Kanye West is his main man, and like he receives so much inspiration from Kanye, and Kanye's beats, and Kanye's vocal stylings, and whatever. I remember this clearly, and when I rewatched The Visit on streaming, there was nothing. The kid there was no scene where the kid mentioned Kanye. There was no mention of Kanye at all. And so that makes me think that those parts of the movie were clipped out, were taken out, and it's just wild. And of course, disconcerting that either M Night Shyamalan or somebody else, and I'm getting the feeling it must have been M Night who did it, because I get the feeling he's very much a control freak, and I don't think he would allow other people to mess with his movies. So I'm just wondering to myself, when Kanye, after he, now Ye, of course, when he started to become this extremely controversial figure that he was, starting in, like, what was it, 2021, 2022, when he said positive things about Hitler and so forth and so on. Did Shyamalan decide, well, I can't have this kid mentioning Kanye anymore in my movie? I'm thinking that must have been what happened. I wish I had. I don't own a DVD player anymore. But I wish I had a DVD from 2015, so I could rewatch that DVD from 2015 and find out if I'm right, if my memory is correct. I am 95% sure, more than 95%. I distinctly remember the kid mentioning Kanye West. I don't know why I remember it, because in 2015 Kanye West wasn't really on my radar screen, but I do remember it. So I don't know. That's another thing about things being online. Things being digitized or digital, available only in digital form. They can be altered without our knowledge. Whereas when you got hard copies, it's harder. It's more difficult for them to change stuff around. They can still do it, like in a new printing, like they've been doing, screwing with Ian Fleming's novels and Agatha Christie's novels, like I've talked about before, taking out things that are unacceptable, and what have you. I know that they can still do it, but it seems like when something is only available online, it can just be altered either by the maker or by censors coming in and saying we don't want this is bad, this was okay for audiences in 2002, but now that we're in 2024, where everything is has to be completely free of racist, sexist, homophobic, anything we deem to be any of those malefactions or anything else, that needs to be gotten rid of. So, is that what happened? Does anybody else remember this movie? Does anybody have the original The Visit DVD from 2015? Just curious. Let me know below in your comments. Thanks for watching.